Okay, John Wick is by far set a new
You're
standard for
black.
action movies. It's kind of it raised the bar from what we know, what we grew up on. Many of us grew up on, and it really gave action fans and people who love movies in general something new and exciting to watch, to go on. Another reason to go to the movies. And John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, I'm talking about this video. Is there going to be a sequel? Because we all know. Let's examine the variables here with John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. Okay, it did really well. It got a 90% at Rotten Tomatoes, and I didn't review it on time because I don't know. I just didn't get around to do it. But this video we're going to talk about, is there going to be? Are we going to get a sequel? Why ask why, right? Because usually movies that make a lot of damn money are probably going to have sequels. We were going to get a trilogy, and that was it. No, I don't think this is true at all. Because okay, let's talk about John Wick Chapter 3. Okay, John Wick Chapter 3 starts off where he left off, and he got a because he killed somebody inside the Continental. Uh, he was excommunicado, and a hit was put on him by the Continental, by the High Table, and so he was able to lift the hit off of him by negotiating with the High Table. When the High Table asked him to kill somebody that they believe was against them, that went against them. So when he didn't listen to them, they decided they were going to send in one of their if you one of their lawyers or one of their correspondents, if you will, to come and oversee who broke the law exactly and who was, excuse me, and the parties responsible for this injustice and breaking the laws of the High Table. So, as you guys well know, that he was able to evade that, and he went against the High Table, and as well as the owner of the Continental, Winston. He wanted to keep his investment. He's been working for the High Table for most of his life, for 35 years or 30 plus years of his life, and he didn't want to lose his hotel, and he didn't want to lose his power, so he decided to help John Wick to resist the High Table. So he enlisted the help of one of the most interesting characters of John Wick. You never actually saw him do anything. Lance Riddick as Cherion. He kind of just helped John Wick whenever he had just gotten into a fight or a tussle with one of the assassins. So he actually saw some action on this movie. And Lawrence Fishburne came back as Brory King, and he also so they sent in Judiciator, played by Asia Kate Dillon. She's kind of like a lawyer, and she held responsible besides John Wick, Winston and Brory King as people who went against the table, and she was gonna lay the law down on behalf of the High Table, and she went. And Angelica Houston also was known as the director on the movie, went against the High Table. She put it. They wanted to find a proper punishment for everybody who went against the High Table. So that included with John Wick. It's kind of like a samurai or more of a yakuza thing because he has to give blood. They had to give blood to the High Table in order to reconfiscate for their breaking the law of the High Table. So they had John Wick. John Wick cut off his finger, kind of like a samurai yakuza thing going, and Angelica Houston's hands were slashed or smashed or something like that, and I also want to talk about Zero, he's done a lot of great action movies in his time. I don't know if a lot of you know who he is, but he's probably one of the most recognizable martial artists in the world. Mark, DeCascos, who's on here. He plays an assassin on here that that wants to know what it's like to kill John Wick. And Holly Berry, who played Sophia, who had her own dogs, and when they kill her dogs in front of her, she decides, because she's kind of reluctant at first to team up with Wick to aid him in his lifting the hit on him, because at first the hit is a certain type of a certain sum of money, and then they increase the hit when he when he's able to stop all the assassins. Yeah, of course, we all know in real life it wouldn't happen this way, but what we love about John Wick is just its innovative use of creative killings and action scenes and unarmed and shooter style martial arts, where it incorporates a martial arts movement or disarm technique using by way of using guns. And of course, Keanu Reeves worked really hard on this movie because he's not getting any younger here, so he was able to recreate a lot of the atmosphere from the first two movies, as far as disarming an enemy and using martial arts at the same time to kill his enemies off in a heartbeat. So Sophia, is Holly Berry on here. I mean, I have nothing but good things to say about this lady, because she's pretty much a Hollywood royalty, and what they did with her on here, I really hope to see more of her. I would like to see her do her own standalone action movie, assassin movie, and hopefully this opens doors for her because of her miss of that atrocity we all want to forget, Catwoman. I don't think Hollywood should be uh, just biased to her anymore, because I think she's got a lot to offer still, and she has a lot. She hasn't not missed a beat. So Holly, I love the scene between with John Wick and Sophia. It's pretty awesome. I like the way they incorporated the dogs to kill or to stop enemies from killing them. It's just really innovative ways of using your surroundings, guns, as well as dogs now to disarm or kill off your enemies. It was just amazing. I really loved the way they did that. It's just a new way of doing action films, and that's why John Wick really has changed and raised the bar beyond a shadow of a doubt that more action movies like this should be incorporated. We got a little bit of that with the last Charlize Theron movie, um, Atomic Blonde, but it wasn't exactly my one of my favorite movies of the year or anything like that. But I saw some traces of John Wick inside that movie, so there's definitely change coming for action movies, and hopefully we'll see a better Die Hard movie when they do the Die Hard Year One. So John Wick is able. It goes against with Winston and what's left of the helpers in the Continental to go against the High Table, and the High Table sends a bunch of assassins to stop them. So at the very end of the movie, a, a really good cliffhanger. I really love what they did with this, because it just means that Winston was willing to. They had asked John Wick to kill off Winston, but he wouldn't do it because he was considered him his friend. So, because of power and because he didn't want to lose his position, Winston went against, or so people think, and shot John Wick in the back at the end of the movie, towards the end of the movie, and he fell off. It looks like he died, and of course, he didn't die because he ended up in what looks to be like a sewer, underground sewer with King, and they. When you hear lines like this, "Are you mad?" Yeah, yeah, man. You're definitely going to see right away there's going to be a sequel. So I think John Wick Chapter 4 is they're basically King and Wick are going to go against the High Table in John Wick Chapter 4. You want to know what's going to happen? That is exactly what I think is going to happen in the next movie, because the movie was well received by critics, and because it was another great sequel to the John Wick trilogy that we thought we were going to have it, because of course whenever a movie makes a lot of money, and John Wick did pretty well in the box office, so it brought in a total of $293.1 million in the box office under a budget of $75 million. And usually when a film makes over its budget, and it exceeded expectations over its budget, so usually that's when sequels get made, or So I'm really glad that John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum was a great a great opportunity to showcase more of the story. We love what he's done for movies, for action movies. So lines like that, I mean, that's why I love these kind of movies, because great action movies with that involves some form of realism to them. All right, so I want to just kind of run down what happened on this movie. So basically, he gunned down in John Wick chapter 2. He gunned down a member of the High Table, the shadowy International Assassins Guild. He found himself stripped of the organization's protective services, and he was an excommunicado, and he got a $14 million bounty on his head on the streets of New York. Becomes a target of the most ruthless killers and assassins of the organization. So basically, there going to be a John Wick Chapter 4? Yes, there is. It's going to be and hopefully this movie doesn't suffer from one too many sequels, and we get a great film. As long as John Wick delivers, as long as we get what we love about John Wick, about what Keanu Reeves has brought to the table for this character. I think it's gonna satisfy a lot of us who love these kind of movies. Okay, on the comments below, let me know what you think. What do you expect to see on John Wick Chapter 4? We know that John Wick and King, Brewery King, Bowery King are going to go against the High Table. They're going to go to war with them, and also against Winston. So there's going to be just another reason for a lot of people to get killed. I guess another revenge tale, another great shooter, assassin killer movie like this that we all love and we enjoyed. All right, you guys, put a like below. Tell me what you think of this video, what I talked about. Tell me what you think about this video as well. And don't forget to tell your people about this blog and subscribe to this blog. And thank you so much for everybody who subscribed recently. Without more subscribers and viewers, this channel is not going to prosper. This channel is nothing, and it doesn't motivate me enough to come and do these videos, because it's you guys that makes our YouTube channels and makes us love what we do. And I love doing this stuff. I love movies, and I love what I do. Okay, and okay, I will see you guys real soon for the next review. All right. Almost forgot. I'm gonna give this movie "Hey, You're Flirting with Movie of the Year," because this movie is definitely gonna be on everybody's best movies of the year.
It's on you, John Wick.
Kill them all! I'm excommunicado!